Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thanks again for joining me here. Hope you're having a fantastic day. Quick update here for Solana. We're going to talk a little bit about this ascending pattern here. This typically is supposed to be a bullish pennant pattern that didn't break out to the upside. In fact, it broke down. We're going to talk about that and much more, and obviously help understand best practice and big picture on coins like these here. So if you're new to the channel, thanks again for watching. If you want to become a better trader, cryptocash.tech is a site linked down below. And obviously, you want to have a phenomenal exchange. Jump on over to Bitunix. Phenomenal exchange. Thanks again so much for partnering with us. They provide us with no KYC, no VPN requirements for our US and Canadian members. It's the main reason why we're partnered with them. Coincidentally, they have a phenomenal exchange, and they give you some healthy benefit rewards if you use my link to register. So check that out in your own time. Link down below. So we're going to talk about a few key factors here. So we discussed yesterday the potential for pullback on this coin. I don't think we're going to see this low of a rip, but I do think that we are going to see somewhat of a pullback, and the main reason why is because we have a double doji candle here forming, and that's typically a bearish sign. Okay? Now again, there's a lot of other things we want to look at, but the truth is this coin is due for a correction at this point, and it just makes sense for the price to pull back a little bit. And now, truth is also we could already be seeing that pullback right now at this point. Okay, so we don't need to think that the sky is falling per se. We just got to be prepared for the worst and hope for the best. Okay. So speaking of which, let's go ahead and take a look at the heat map here for liquidation. There's a lot more liquidation levels here at about $60 starting to form, much higher than we ever saw before. Okay, so roughly a couple of days ago, there was literally no shorts in sight. Okay, now as the time continues to progress at this level, we start seeing those doji candles starting to form, and the price cannot break through that resistance. More people are confidently shorting this coin. Okay. Now, again, whether or not they get liquidated is one thing, but the truth is there's a lot of juicy stop losses up there that could get hit and liquidated, so I wouldn't be surprised that the upper level liquidity gets swept and then the price action pulls back down. But once more, I would just expect the worst and, again, hope for the best. So what that basically just means here on the charts is that we want to pay attention to a few things on the back end. So let's take a quick look here at stochastic RSI. We can see we're going to start seeing our first divergence here. First divergence is typically not the first one you want to consider shorting into. I prefer to wait for a second one. So, it looks kind of like this, a little jagged, but when the price starts coming down, the second time, that's when you want to consider shorting. Okay. Again, I don't think we're quite there yet, but I still feel like, there's a correction due for Bitcoin, so there's that as well. All right, what I'm getting at here is simply put, the money flow index is coming down. That's the bigger deal here, okay? So RSI, all well and good. Price action staying where it's at, that's no big deal. But as the money flows away from the coin, we got to recognize the price is going to go with it. So you want to follow the volume. That's kind of the best thing you can ever do for yourself when trading or learning to trade, is just kind of understand that volume is an important factor. Let's go ahead and take a quick look at volume on the 4-hour too and kind of just see where everything is approximated here. And we're going to remove these fibs and draw out some new ones here anyways, so we'll just go ahead and pull that off. And why don't we go ahead and just get a little clean here on the charts and kind of see what's up with the volume, okay? This is an important factor. So as we can see, we've got this moving average on the volume, basically a 20-day SMA, and that's telling us here that we are below, we've been below this level here for a few days now. Okay, so once we peaked out and we hit this upper level, the price action continued to plateau, and as we see the price action pulling back, we're starting to see the volume come down as well. Okay, so unless we see an extra amount of volume coming into this coin, we're going to probably presume the price is going to go lower. Another thing to recognize too, and this is important, you see this this candlestick here, this large candle. This implies there is a lot more selling pressure than buying pressure with this candlestick closing red. It does imply that the price action should continue lower because of the fact that there's a lot of resistance at that level. Okay? So the truth is, we're not like in a bad shape here, but I do think that we could see the price come down a little bit lower. That's somewhat of a bearish sign. We can also see we're kind of getting close to 50 on the RSI with both the MFI and RSI. Stochastic is also very low. So those things combined give me indication that we're probably due for a potential increase. But if we reject that and we don't close over a certain level, then we're going to be in trouble. So the truth is here, it's one of those weird little situations where you're getting some conflicting information in both directions. And a lot of times when that happens, it can be difficult to make a decision. And the reason why that's important is because if it's difficult to make a decision, you probably shouldn't make one. Okay. So to me, try to take a massive short, 100x short right now just seems terrible. You'll see some people get lucky, but the truth is that this coin is kind of in this indecisive moment right now, and it should continue one way or the other, but it's hard to really specify which way that's going to go. So again, that's kind of how trading gets sometimes. there's always areas of indecision and uncertainty, and those are usually the case in point where you don't want to trade. So I don't feel comfortable trading this coin just because, yes, it feels like it's going to come down, but is it truly going to come down? It could rip back up to fill this upper liquidity level. So again, keep in mind, this is a juicy target here for a lot of longs. The whales are going to, what they do is they submit a bunch of small orders to get to the price here, and then they rip the price back down. So we could very well see a double top here, potentially play out here in the near future. Okay. Last thing we want to take a look at would be the hourly, and this is kind of just that confirmational sign letting us know that we are officially below the cloud, but lagging span isn't really truly clear of the price action, and conversion line's kind of close to the baseline. So again, more indecisiveness. But the truth is we're below this moving average now, and if you're ever below the cloud, then that's more of a confirmational sign to feel comfortable with a short than to consider taking a long. Okay. So the bottom line here is that there's no proof that we want to take a long position. I think it's very risky taking a long. But also, inversely, taking a short is also kind of risky, even though it's statistically more probable. Okay? So again, when we have situations like this, I prefer just kind of stay on the sidelines. If I'm not mistaken, our Premium Plus group, we are taking some nice little scalps here. We have a short position open with our scalping trades. As you can see, we got in at 55, and our target was 54, and our next one's 53.40. So again, I think that the price should continue lower, right? That's just kind of the general consensus. But do I feel comfortable taking a swing trade position right now? Not exactly, because there's not a lot of confirmation. Last thing to kind of look at, and we kind of overstep this here, is the moving averages on the 4-hour. We're now under the 20-day SMA, which is not a great place to be. It doesn't necessarily mean you're truly bearish, but it does imply that you're getting there, okay? We break below the 50, I'm going to be ready, set, lock, and loaded to go ahead and consider shorting. But at this point, I think no trade is a good trade. It's just my personal opinion. But if I had to pick a side, I would point down versus up, just based on the simple fact that the smaller time frames are indicating a reversal, with larger time frames tell us we're still in good shape. Okay. All right. Hopefully that was helpful. I know that was kind of convoluted, or just kind of like it's either one or the other. That's really how trading goes sometimes. And sometimes the best thing to do is to stay on the sidelines and to wait and to be patient. Okay? I know that's a difficult thing for a lot of folks, but it really, really helps you survive the markets. I know you're going to have a lot of FOMO during that time, but I tell you what, the market is full of FOMO. I mean, look at this. There's nothing but missed opportunities here. You can't catch them all, all right? So just learn to deal with that, and hopefully, get better over time, right? We're always trying to improve. Even myself, after 20 years, I always try to find ways to get better. So once more, I hope you learned something here today. Thanks again so much for watching. If you get a chance, comment below, like, subscribe, follow. Greatly appreciate that. And obviously, again, jump on over to the best exchange in the world, my personal opinion, with a nice little deposit bonus if you use my link. All right, folks. Thanks again for watching. Hope you have a good rest of your day. We'll see you in the next one. Take care.